to take over, Kick?
No.
Head her east a little.
There ain't any fish around here. I ain't never seen them as scarce.
Yeah, we're wasting time and gas.
I thought I saw some birds working over there by that ship.
Okay, let's have a look. Very pretty. But you won't bring a dime at the cannery.
What an idea. Canned women. Better steal instant women. Just hot water and stir.
Hey, Marty, tell me a thing. Why does it say this girl is good for farming?
Listen, send 25 cents in stamp or cash, and we will send you a 9x12 photograph of this beautiful model suitable for farming.
Framing, not farming, you clock.
Anyone who would frame a girl like this should be shot.
I do not frame so lovely a senorita. I carry her close to my heart. So.
Another day, another dollar. Only no dollar. How's the gas?
Oh, plenty to get back on.
But not enough to get out again tomorrow.
Don't worry, I'll get you enough.
Where?
Leave it to me, can't you?
You're borrowing from June again, aren't you? That last tankful, that was her money too, wasn't it?
Okay. Well, she's my daughter, and it's all in the family, ain't it?
No, I told her I wasn't going to take any of her money. I won't have you taking it either.
Take over, Joe.
Okay.
Hey, Marty, I know how you feel, and so does June.
Sure.
And why don't you two kids get married? You keep putting it off and putting it off. We all know it's just a matter of time.
I won't marry her until I can support her. I told her that. I'm telling you that.
Marty, you know I know June a lot better than you do. She's just like her mother was. I ever tell you how we got married? Well, I didn't have a boat. I didn't have much anything. I was on the beach. And I kept putting it off and putting it off, just like you are. One day she came to me and she said, Kick, you come along with me. So we went down to City Hall. We got a marriage license. She paid for it herself. And right up until the time she died, she used to say, Kick, I think you're the best investment I ever made. And that's the way June feels about you.
Hey, Kick, Marty. Look.
Yeah, she's drifting all right.
Give her the horn.
You make out anyone on deck?
No. Give her the horn again, Joe.
Hey, take us around to her. Maybe they're below working on the engines.
Nah, they need somebody topside. You make out her name?
Yeah. M-E-B... No, it's M-E-D-U-S-A. Medusa.
Medusa? It's a new one on me. Give her the horn again. Ahoy there! Ahoy, Medusa! Ahoy there! Medusa! Ahoy! Ahoy there! Ahoy, Medusa!
Joe, and come aboard.
Okay, Marty.
Ahoy aboard!
Hey, they got a big diesel power down there. A real big mill. Hey, look. One of the boats is missing.
He sure carries enough equipment, even radar.
Yeah.
Hey, here's something. Their last position was off the Coronadas.
Coronadas?
Yeah.
That's 80 miles east of here.
Cap, I read you fine. Over.
Radio's okay.
No one back there.
Hey, check that hatch, Kick. I'm going below.
Hey, Marty, what do you think happened?
Your guess is as good as mine. Anybody home?
Madre Dios. What kind of a woman snakes for hair?
Yeah, that's Medusa, the lady this boat was named after.
Medusa? Ah, Nightmare Alice.
There was a legend about Medusa. Anyone who looked at her was turned to stone. Rock me, baby. Hey, what are you doing there?
There's the crew's quarters back here. I heard somebody knocking, so come on, get me out of here. Hey, this is real nice. It's cozy, huh? Oh, this guy was prepared for everything. Now, there's something I always wanted to wear. How do I look in that, Marty?
Like a fish out of water?
Hey, what's that?
It's your legend. Snaky locks and the three bears.
Oh, who'd want anything like that in his bedroom? Come on, let's get out of here.
This is the galley.
Hey, this is better than I got at home.
Where you see the dining room? Be my guest. Hey, something else I found.
Well, what do you know? Cognac. Just an 1898. That's older than I am. Oh, this is too rich for you kids. Spoil you. To the Medusa!
Marty, we got company.
Whoever he is, he didn't die easy.
Yeah. Hey, look at this. See the way he had that tied?
Upside down.
Distress signal. He was probably running it up on her, or he had... Hey, Marty. Maybe he had the plague. Or the cholera. Well, that'd answer it. This is a plague ship.
He'd have radioed, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Unless whatever he had hit him so fast they didn't have time.
Yeah, he didn't have time, so they all dropped like flies, and they obligingly got up and walked themselves over the side, all except that guy there. He didn't have time.
Yeah. Well, we better notify the Coast Guard.
Sure. But not just yet. Listen, now how much do you figure this yacht's worth? 100,000, 150 maybe?
Oh, easy.
Well, listen, if we bring her in, we can claim salvage. But if we call the Coast Guard, that's no salvage. I figure salvage would bring maybe $20,000.
$20,000?
Oh, well, do you think we could tow it in ourselves?
Well, how do you know we can't run it in?
Well, they can't kill us for trying.
Okay, baby, let's go. Yeah! Hey, listen, Joe, you're going to have to bring in the Olympia, huh?
Right. Hey, the birds are walking over there. Looks like bluefin.
Will you stop acting like a fisherman? For the next 3 hours, we're the idle rich. Kick. Give a blast on the horn.
Hello, Mark. Harry. Mr. Edwards of the FBI, Mr. Blake of the Federal Narcotics Bureau.
How are you?
Commander Todd of our Merchant Marine Inspection Division.
Hello, Commander.
Well, there she is. Whoever she is.
What do you mean?
There's no Medusa listed in any yacht registry. She's a shady lady, Mark. The health officer's aboard now.
Hey, Doc, is it, the plague or cholera or something like that? Is this where you found him?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, and we covered him up, too.
That can be pretty risky at times. The plague. It is the plague. I knew it. Hey, Doc.
You can go aboard now, gentlemen. And you fellas can stop worrying. That man on the boat died of the mumps. Mumps and encephalitis, to be exact. Mumps! The mumps.
Madre mia!
What's the matter with him?
Doesn't he speak English?
Sure I speak English. I just happened to think of something. I never had the mumps.
What's the story, Commander? Have you traced the owner yet?
All I can tell you is the yacht has no registry, carries no papers. Someone has obliterated the official numbers carved onto her main beam. Has no port of origin on her stern, just the name, Medusa.
Well, what about the dead man?
Well, he has no fingerprint record, unidentified.
Have you any idea what happened, sir?
Investigation's just begun, boys. Give us time. You have a mystery yacht here. Isn't that enough for a story?
Could we get a shot of the men who brought her in?
That's up to you, McMahon.
I have no objections.
It's okay with me.
Real tight, though.
Blake, what about these men? You want them held?
Well, I have no reason to hold them, Commander.
What's your theory, McMahon? What do you think happened?
How do I know?
Well, the guy that was on a
I'm
section...
sorry, boys. No more questions. Maybe by tomorrow we'll have this whole thing cleared up. Morrison, show the press to the gates.
Oh, that's not enough to get a story out of it. That's why I couldn't give a bit more time.
Can we leave now, Commander?
Yes, you can go now, but I'd like you to stay ashore for a few days so you'll be available in case we need you.
Yes, sir. But one thing, how do I go about making a formal claim for salvage?
You're officially logged as having brought her in, so don't worry about it.
We stand a chance to make $20,000, and he says, don't worry about it. The Coast Guard pay must be higher than I thought. Well, we'll see you in the morning.
McMahon, and this goes for the rest of you. The reporters will probably be waiting for you at the gate. Oh, I'd rather you wouldn't give them any more information.
Well, I'm no publicity hound, but why the mystery?
That's just the point. It is a mystery.
Hey, Bud. You mind just a few questions, McMahon?
Sorry, boys.
What's it like on board? Pretty classy, huh?
I'm sorry, no question.
Hey, Pop! Marty! Pop, I'm over here!
This story's huge. We'd like to have the afternoon edition.
Oh, give us a break, will you? It'll only take a minute.
How about a shot of the girl,
Let's get out of here.
Just one shot.
Look, come on, give us a break, will you? It'll only take a minute.
Just one shot, huh? Well, this is huge.
Could I trouble you for a light? What do you boys make of this business? Coast Guard say whether they're onto anything?
Now, you ask for a light.
Thanks. Maybe I can buy you a drink.
Now, why are you so interested in all this, mister?
Oh, curiosity. I'm a curious man. Also, I pay for my information. Interested?
Well, it's a deal. I'll tell you everything I know.
Smart.
Now, 3 hours from now, you go over to the Times building. Now, you'll find a kid outside. You hand him a dime, and he hands you a paper. That way you save $19.90.
Smart. Smart.
I just saw the boys, and I told them it was okay as long as they kept in radio contact. Bluefin. I wish all I had to do for a living was outsmart a fish. Commander, have you ever seen a fisherman with ulcers who had to see a psychiatrist for anything?
I guess we're in the wrong profession. Is there anything you can tell me?
Did you ever know a fella called Anselmo? Oh, he probably uses a dozen other names, too. He's a big-time smuggler. Diamonds, watches, cameras. Narcotics, too, most likely. We've been working on him, but we haven't come up with much.
Is there anything to tie him in with the Medusa?
No, not much. Oh, there's one thing, that wardrobe. You know, there aren't many people who, that is the right kind of people, who claim that they've ever seen Anselmo. Now, the descriptions we get are the usual. He's tall, he's short, he's fat, he's thin, he's light, he's dark. But there is one thing on which they agree, one point. And that is that this Anselmo is a very nifty dresser. You know, the kind of a guy who never wears the same suit twice in the same month, changes his clothes 3 or 4 times a day. You know the kind.
Well, not right offhand. If Anselmo owns a Medusa, he's not apt to walk right in here and claim her, is he?
No, not likely. On the other hand, I can't see even Anselmo giving up a $200,000 yacht. Now, of course, I may be way off base. It's just a hunch. Oh, what's this? Well, I see our fishermen didn't take very long in filing their claim. Ha-ha.
What's a joke?
I was just wondering, Commander. I was just wondering if a fisherman had ever been used for bait. How's the fishing ground?
Lousy.
McMahon, what would you do if we turned this craft over to you?
I'd pinch myself and wake up.
Answer the question.
You serious? Well, I'd go into the charter business. I'd charter out for, say, $200 a day bare boat.
You wouldn't think of selling her?
Sure, if the price are right, but how often you get a buyer for a craft like this? Besides, there's a lot of money in the charter business.
Well, get ready to pinch yourself, McMahon. The district court has transferred the Medusa to the 3 of you in payment of your salvage claim.
I don't know about you two boys, but I'm not sleeping.
This on the level, she's ours, no strings attached?
Just one. I've prepared an ad to be placed in all the local and Los Angeles papers. Yacht Medusa available for charter, and all the details. Now, incidentally, I'll see that the ad is paid for. There's just one thing. I want you to inform me if it gets any replies.
Well, that's fair enough. More than fair, I'd say, but why is Uncle Sam going to pay for all this?
Price of bait.
What's that?
Well, let's say it's compensation for all the time you've lost.
You can say that, but I don't believe you. Not that we won't take the boat. Okay, that's got it. How about some chow?
Anything but chili.
Hi, Marty. Brought you a customer. Marty, this is Mr. Kane, isn't it? Marty McMahon, my father, and Joe.
Dick Kane, how do you do?
Hello.
I was afraid he might get lost trying to get here by himself.
Believe me, I would have. Say, she's a beauty.
Mr. Kane is looking for something he can charter for 10 days.
Well, it may be for more. How long does it take to get to La Paz and back?
La Paz? Well, gee, that's quite a ways. That's clear around the tip of Baja, California. I can check it on the charts for you.
Later will do. The point is, that's where I got to pick up my boss. I guess I better explain. It's a little complicated.
Well, in that case, let's go aboard. There's no point in us standing out here in the wind. The kick, lead the way.
Thank you.
Where'd you meet this guy?
He phoned about the ad. Oh, Marty, wouldn't it be wonderful? A 10-day cruise to La Paz.
What makes you think you'd go along?
Oh, what makes you think you could stop me?
I can't see anything wrong with this.
Why, she's clean as a whistle. Want to look her over?
What do you think of her?
What do I? Well, I think she's the most beautiful, comfortable...
That's good enough for me, and I'm sure it'll be good enough for Mr. Monet, too. That's my boss.
Would you have a seat, Mr. Kane?
Thank you. Would you sit in this minute?
About Mr. Monet.
Oh, yes. Well, 3 weeks ago, he flew to La Paz on business. And he hates flying, loathes it, in fact. He was sure his heart couldn't stand another plane ride, and I was to charter a boat, nothing shorter than the Queen Mary. Now, perhaps I shouldn't mention this, but price is no object.
You shouldn't have said that, Mr. Kane.
Well, I do have the figures quoted in your ad. $200 a day for a fair boat. What does that mean exactly? No furniture? You take these chairs off?
No, that means without crew, without food, and without fuel.
That's no good. I thought you came with it.
Well, we do, for a price. By we, I mean Kick here and Joe and myself.
And little old me to do the cooking.
No.
Mr. Kane, I'm the best cook between here and La Paz.
I don't care if you're the best cook between here and China. No.
You haven't the only say, Marty McMahon. My father and Joe have as much right to decide as you have.
Is she a good cook, Mr. McMahon?
Well, yes, she is a good cook.
Well,
but
that settles it. After all, why not? And let's cut out the formality. Look, I don't want to ride all the way to La Paz back here talking to myself.
You mean you're going to be our only passenger?
Until we pick up the boss. Well, that's all right, isn't it? I mean, you don't insist on a minimum number of people, do you?
No, that's just fine, as long as your boss can stand the tariff. And speaking of that, it's customary to get a little something in advance, you know.
Well, how about 2,000? Would that be enough?
Yeah, that,
Oh, and by the way, Mr. Monet is very particular on food. You know, the best of meats and everything.
champagne, caviar, steaks.
Right. Now, how soon can you be ready?
I can be ready in an hour.
The Medusa is considerably larger than the fuel tanks. We'll be ready at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I'll be here. Oh, can I drop you off this bit?
Oh, no. I have to start on the grocery list. Do you like beef stroganoff, Mr. Kane?
I'm mad about it. You know, that's one of my specialties. We'll match recipes.
It's a deal.
Oh, hey, Marty, let me see one of those. Oh, what a good face this man has, huh?
Suitable for farming. Hey, listen, now, first thing we got to do is get a list. We gotta go and get provisions, fuel, water.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't forget to notify Blake.
Yeah, I'll do that when I go into town to get the provisions. Oh, you better come along, too. Beef stroganoff.
That all of it?
Yeah, this does it.
Van, can I see you a minute?
Yeah, here, take this kick, will you?
Maybe we ought to step over here. There are one or two things I think you're entitled to know, McMahon. After you called me today, I did a little checking on this passenger of yours. As far as we know, he's all right. But this Sidney Manet, for a man who hates to fly, he certainly has logged a lot of hours in the past year. 4 flights to Mexico City and 1 to Paris.
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe he got disenchanted.
Well, it could be. You know, I have a hunch that whoever abandoned the Medusa would like to have her back again.
Well, she's ours now. The court awarded her.
I know. She's legally yours. But supposing the owner is operating outside the law. Now, supposing this charter is a pretext, for instance, to get the Medusa back at sea again.
You mean Kane's just fronting for somebody?
Well, let's admit that's a possibility. On the other hand, everything might be strictly above board.
But you don't think so?
Well, at the moment, I haven't a shred of proof to go on.
Well, if we're going to be suspicious of everybody who wants to charter the Medusa, we might as well give up right now.
Give up? Do you want to give her up right now?
Give her up? Not so you'd notice. Anyone who wants the Medusa is going to have a fight on his hands.
McMahon, that's what I hoped you'd say. Now, I want you to listen to me. I want you to listen, but I don't want you to breathe a word of this to anyone. Anyone, understand?
What are you doing, Marty?
Hand me that box there, will you?
What's the idea of the artillery?
There's another one just like it under the head of my bunk.
Well, that should be nice and cozy. You mind telling me what for?
Just remember it's there, huh? Just in case.
Hi there!
That must be Kane now.
Good morning! I'll take that.
Isn't it great?
Hey, the Lily.
She sails for Hawaii tomorrow.
Let her. I'd rather be right here.
You know, I came back on a Mariposa once, worked my passage home.
Work? Doing what?
Ship's orchestra. I play a pretty mean guitar. Well, at least I used to before I
Before you what?
caught some shrapnel in Korea. You want to see it? Looks like a horse's head, doesn't it?
That's a strange sort of a luck piece to be wearing.
Oh, I'm lucky I didn't lose my arm.
Isn't it about time we started thinking about some lunch?
Aye, sir.
But don't make it beef stroganoff the very first day, huh, honey?
Beef stroganoff.
Very, very funny.
I thought so. Some say to that guy, seasick before we're an hour at sea.
Hey, Marty. Want any more?
Well, you might have left some for a kick.
Mark, have you seen Mr. Kane?
No, not since
He's not in his cabin. He's not on deck. I can't find him anywhere.
Have you tried
He's
that?
not there. I've looked in all the cabins up on the boat deck. Pop hasn't seen him either.
Now, look, don't get excited. A man just doesn't suddenly disappear.
Oh, no? What happened to the last owner?
Shut up. You tried the afterdeck. How about the bow?
Oh, Pop would have seen.
Have another look around, Joe. Come on, let's look forward. Oh, you tried the engine room.
Oh, he wouldn't be down there sick as he was. He's gone, Marty. Overboard.
It's okay, he's down here. Hi. You gave us quite a scare. We thought you were overboard. Gosh, I'm sorry. I was fooling around with my radio and this knob came loose. I figured I'd find a screwdriver down here. It works now.
A lot of power plant down there. Diesel, huh?
Yeah, how do you feel?
Me? Fine. You know, those pills you gave me worked like magic.
It must have.
I'm hungry. How's chances for lunch?
Oh, come on.
Anything wrong, Marty?
I don't know, Joe. I just don't know.
I'm over here.
Too early to turn in. And I don't give refunds on a night like this. A little mood music. You like sea is my woman? The sea is my woman, my lover, my queen. I was born to be with her my whole life through. I was born to be with her, no one else could I crave. But the sea is my woman, and I'm her slave.
Hi. How's chances for a cup of coffee?
That's one thing we never run out of. Black and one love, right?
Oh, good memory. I have too. You know, I seem to remember kissing you goodnight last night. In fact, it was the first thing I thought of when I woke up this morning.
Please don't, Dick. I know I let you kiss me last night. I wanted you to.
Well, I bet I got that impression.
I was mad at Marty, that's all. It was just a way of trying to get back.
Are you sure that's all it was? You know, I sort of hoped you were beginning to like me a little.
I do like you, Dick. Very much. But that isn't...
Never mind the buts. I'll settle for the first part.
But what I'm trying to tell
Don't
you is that...
argue. What's the matter?
It's a boat. Come on.
Buenos días. Bienvenidos a México. Buenos días. How are you, my friends? Ah, señorita. Buenos días. She's one beautiful day, no?
Sheer off there! First thing you know, he'd be running into us. What's on your mind, friend?
You like to buy some fish? Very fresh, very nice.
No thanks.
Prefiere langostas, lobster. Mire. Very live langostas, senor.
Lobster. Oh, Marty, let's get some. How much are they?
For you, señorita, a price especial. $2 for 1 dozen. How many you want?
We'll take 2 dozen.
Bueno,
$2 a dozen. Do you know how much they cost at the market? A lobster salad for lunch. How does that sound?
It sounds very good, senorita.
What is this? Hold it, Pop!
Outside and with your hands up.
Back there. All of you.
You too, Pop.
Don't you call me Pop.
Shove off. Wind. All right, line up side by side. What about her?
Well, I'll admit it's a temptation.
Okay, you can put him down. Now, McMahon, you had a question?
McMahon, huh? Well, if you know my name, that answers it. Thanks a lot. I hope we haven't kept your friends waiting too long. How is Mr. Monet these days? Is he still airsick at La Paz, or you wouldn't happen to be Monet, would you?
What's he talking about?
Okay, Fidel, let's drop it.
You'll find a gun stashed under his bunk up forward. He may have others around.
Thanks again.
You have other guns?
Sure. I got them all over the place.
I asked you polite. Well?
Stop it! Let me go.
I don't want to hurt you. And I don't want to see you get hurt either, Marty. But for your own good, you better listen and tell the truth.
There's another one in the wheelhouse. There's two, that's all. Oh, what's the use, Marty? They'd find it anyway.
That's being smart, Pop.
Don't you call me Pop or I'll...
You'll nothing. None of you. First wrong move and she gets it. Understand?
I'll go get the other gun.
How can I move when I can't even see the board?
Give him a hand, Richard. Now, careful with this one, Ortega. Now, careful. Easy. Easy. There. That seems to be everything. Oh, thank you, Ortega. Here. Small bonus. Buy something for your wife and all the little Ortegas.
Gracias, patron. Muchas gracias.
All those horrible little Ortegas. What he ought to buy for them is a small gas chamber.
Richard, dear boy, how well you look. Fresh air and sunshine, and no doubt this charming company. How do you do, Miss Smith? Pity anyone so lovely has to have such a commonplace name, but I'm sure you'll be changing it for something better. McMahon, isn't it? You'll have to admit it is much more distinguished than Smith. I'm willing to admit it hasn't got the class of Monet. You are Monet, aren't you?
Well, but naturally, you weren't expecting anyone else, were you?
No. Supposing you and I step inside. Suppose we get some answers outside. As you were saying, suppose we step inside. I can see that we're going to get along, Mr. McMahon. After you, my friend.
Let's get down to cases. Right now, you're guilty of piracy on the high seas.
My, how romantic. The images it evokes. Walking the plank, the Jolly Roger, hidden treasure. Yes, indeed. Hidden treasure.
Not to mention hanging from the yardarm, or on today's market, maybe 20 years in a federal prison. Oh, your boss didn't tell you about that.
Oh, come now, let's not get too legalistic. In point of fact, I have no intention of reclaiming the Medusa. She's yours.
In that case, get off my ship.
I shall be delighted to, once you have transported me safely to Catalina.
Catalina?
Santa Catalina. That delightful little island you can see from Los Angeles on a clear day. Just take me to Catalina, Mr. McMahon, and I shall trouble you no more. And as a further recompense, I shall pay you the sum of $10,000 over and above the price of your charter.
Look, I'm tired of playing games, and I'm not one of those donkeys you get to go places by dangling a carrot in front of his nose. Now, either you come up with some answers or get your muscle boys to work me over.
Sit down, Mr. McMahon. Very well. What are your questions?
Well, first of all, why did you abandon the Medusa?
A comedy of errors, but I'll be delighted to tell you that story another time in full.
Oh, well. All right, I'll pass that for the time being. Now, let's get on to another question. You say that the Medusa was yours, and yet you didn't come forward to claim her. Then you go to a lot of trouble to get her back, and now you say you have no interest in keeping her.
I can understand your confusion. Proceed.
Oh, I'm supposed to pass that, too.
Mr. McMahon, what would you say if I were to tell you that we're sitting on $500,000 at this very moment?
I'd say you're crazy.
Nevertheless, it happens to be the fact. You can believe me or not, as you please.
You mean there's something on board here, something that the federal boys and the Coast Guard weren't able to find?
Exactly. So you see, it's the cargo, not the yacht, that interests me. And now that your curiosity has been satisfied, up to a point, what's your answer?
$10,000.
In exchange for conveying me to Catalina, keeping your mouth shut, and seeing that your friends do the same.
You're staking an awful lot on our keeping quiet, aren't you?
No more than you. Perhaps not even as much. If you see what I mean, my friend.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Now, one last question. What if I say no to your proposition?
Oh, come now, I give you more credit for intelligence than that. The Medusa, an extra $10,000, and my goodwill against what? Suppose you tell me.
No, I get the picture. I wouldn't like it.
I'm sure you wouldn't. Shall we drink to a pleasant cruise?
Why not? To Catalina on a clear day. Hi, you're up early.
I didn't sleep a wink. Marty, what are we going to do?
Keep doing just what we're doing. Heading for Catalina and hoping we get there.
Marty, the radio. Maybe we could get through.
Forget it. The first thing they did was strip the transmitter. Now take it easy. No one's been hurt so far. Let's just keep it that way.
Excellent advice. First things first, at all times. And speaking of that, my first requirement in the morning is breakfast. Miss Smith, do you think you can manage an omelet?
I could manage a lot better without that fish-eyed character hanging around.
Fish-eyed? Of course, Mr. Sam Cope. You couldn't have described him better. I'll speak to him.
Monet, I was curious about how the Medusa came to be abandoned.
Well, as I told you last night, a comedy of errors. Have you ever been told suddenly that you're on a plague ship, that one of the crew, presumably bitten by a rat, is deathly ill, his throat swollen, his face purpling, no need to go into the lurid details. I saw him die. Out there, on deck. Well, what would you have done? Well, I might have thrown him overboard or tried to fumigate, called the Coast Guard. I was in no position to call the Coast Guard. And no means of fumigating. As for touching a plague victim, no thank you. And so you lowered the boat and left everything, including your $500,000 worth of cargo. What's the quotation? Fear makes cowards of us all. I was rather annoyed when I read that poor Miguel had died of nothing worse than a rather virulent form of the mumps. It's quite an amusing story, isn't it? Yeah. Except for one thing. Poor Miguel was alive when you abandoned ship. We found him up on the boat deck, not out there. God knows how long he lasted after you deserted him. Is that a fact? Well. And now I expect my omelet is ready. This sea air gives me quite an appetite.
Thank you, my dear. Sure you won't take a hand?
Thanks. I don't play.
Busy. Gin. Not very lucky, Richard. Any better fortune with our charming cook?
Look, she's a nice girl, and she's engaged to McMahon.
Oh, that still doesn't answer my question. You think I haven't noticed the way your body tenses every time she comes near you?
I'm going below. I think I'll take a nap.
I know what you'll take. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Wait. Better let me have your gun. Just for safekeeping.
You don't trust anybody, do you?
Not even myself.
June, be careful of Monet and keep out of his way as much as possible.
That's some advice coming from you.
Don't make it obvious, and don't give him the idea you're scared of him. He likes that, and if he tries anything...
Well. Such a touching scene. Charming. Come, Richard, a word with you.
I was just going below.
Yes, I know. We'll both go below. Excuse us, my dear. Wait outside, Fidel. Now, what were you saying to the girl?
Nothing at all.
Amazing, a man who talks and yet says nothing. What did you say to the girl?
Look, I only mentioned I was coming down and take a nap, that's all.
You're lying, Richard. That displeases me.
All right. I'll give it to you straight. I only told her to be careful of you. And I didn't say any more than that. I didn't tell her some of the things that I might have. I didn't tell her about that 14-year-old Mexican...
You dare talk about me, or threaten to.
Go on, I don't care. Only you'll have to kill the rest of them, too. McMahon, her father. Go on, kill us all. Run the boat yourself. Take it into Catalina alone.
You have more courage than I gave you credit for. Or else you're a bigger fool than I imagined. Fidel! Our Richard has decided to take the cure, Fidel. Look in his guitar case. He keeps his medicine.
Boss, I'm only kidding. Fideli's only kidding. Boss, tell him you're only kidding. Come on.
In 6 hours, Richard, you'll sell your own mother, no less that girl you scarcely know. 6 hours
Boss,
and you'll come begging.
I'm kidding. I promise you I'm kidding. Kidding?
Why don't you take that little nap? Hmm?
Please, boss, I'm only kidding. I promise you I am.
3:30.
Lonely guitar, lonely and blue. I know the reason you're lonely too. You've been beside me, you traveled so far, shared all my troubles and worries, lonely guitar. I love the woman.
What is it? What's the matter? Is there anything I can do to help?
He's had these attacks before. Now, why don't you go below, Richard? No. You'll feel better in bed. Come on, let me help.
I'll go get his bunk.
You must be taught your lesson, Richard. Take him below. Lock him up.
What happened? Road. It's bruised.
Good night.
So then it's 60 hours since the Medusa's last radio contact.
Yes, that's right. And no report of her from the Mexican Coastal Patrol either.
Boat that size just doesn't disappear. Maybe we ought to put out a call.
Commander Todd speaking. Yes. What's that? Where? How long ago? Thank you. The Medusa was spotted by one of our helicopters half an hour ago.
Where?
Heading straight for Catalina.
Catalina?
Get me the harbor master at Catalina. Get him on the phone, not the radio.
Catalina? The radio there, Fidel. Just a little louder. Now, I shan't be gone long, an hour or less. And when the shore boat comes alongside, I want you all to be happy and smiling. I'm sure you brought along a bathing suit. Put it on. A yacht at Catalina without at least one pretty girl on the deck in her bathing suit is unthinkable. The shore boat. Now, big smiles, everyone. Oh, good heavens, Coke. Put that grin away. Nature never intended you to smile. Here we are. Good morning, good morning. A beautiful day, isn't it?
The bathing suit.
Cheesecake, come on. I'll go with her.
Suit yourself, Pop.
Hi there.
I'm the harbor master. From the Medusa, aren't you? You wouldn't be McMahon, would you?
Oh, that's right. Marty McMahon. Yes. Why?
I was just going to run out. I had a call a few minutes ago from Commander Todd. Is everything all right?
All right? What do you mean?
Commander Todd was wondering because you haven't been reporting regularly.
Oh, that. The radio went out. That's one of the reasons I put back in, to pick up a new transformer.
So that's it. Well, I won't hold you any longer.
Oh, no trouble at all. And thank Commander Todd for me, won't you?
I'll do that.
Dick? Dick? Answer me. Dick.
What's the matter?
Pop, listen.
Open it. Open the door or I'll kick it down. This boy's in bad shape. How long has it been this way?
How do I know? Where are you going?
To get a doctor.
You don't need a doctor.
What are you gonna do? Just let him die?
He ain't gonna die. What's the matter with you, Pop? Where you been all your life? He's a junkie. A mainliner. There's nothing wrong with him a good fix wouldn't cure. Only he ain't getting it. Now get out of here. Go on up on deck.
Yeah, fresh air.
Give him a smile, Cheesecake.
So now we know, don't we? Dope. And we're bringing it in.
Not yet, we haven't.
Here comes the boss. Big smile now. Smile or I'll break your arm.
Well, well, quite a reception. Where's McMahon?
Saw him a minute ago.
Mr. Monet, you've got to do something about Dick. He'll die if you don't. Oh, please. You can't be so inhuman. I don't know what he's done or what he's being punished for, but he can't stand much more.
Very well. And then get everyone together on the afterdeck. Hey, what are you doing down there? Come on up.
What's the idea of the flag? Is this the 4th of July or something?
Well, you're supposed to fly the flag while you're in harbor.
Oh. The boss wants to see you.
Well, I gotta run this up first, regulations.
Come on, get a move. Come on.
New transformer? Just a minute. That doesn't make sense, Commander. He could just as well have picked up a transformer at Ignacio or any one of those ports. Describe McMahon for me, will you? Medium height. Very fancy dresser? A yachting jacket?
Attention, attention. 95-305, man your boat. 95-305, man your boat. Attention, attention.
Splendid! All these eager, smiling faces. Well, I'll not keep you, gentlemen. In precisely 2 hours, we shall up anchor and start across the channel. 10 miles out, we shall rendezvous with a small cabin cruiser. Into it, we shall transfer ourselves and our cargo. And then, as 4 weary and sunburned fishermen hurrying home to our wives and our barbecues, we shall take our final leave of your company. And not without a certain regret. And not without turning over to you these little souvenirs of our cruise.
Our deal called for us to take you to Catalina. It didn't go beyond that.
Now, let's not quibble. Another 10 miles shouldn't make that much difference to you, but it is an essential safety margin for me.
I still don't like it. Besides, I didn't know your cargo was narcotics.
I haven't said it was.
You didn't have to. Your pal Dick said it for you. Heroin. Maybe it's a little late in the day for me to take any high moral tone, but I happen to think that there's nothing dirtier than dope peddling. Anyone who traffic in narcotics
Lower your voice,
is the scum of the earth.
Don't give me any of your sermons.
Ahoy there! Ahoy there, the Medusa! Ahoy there! What's the matter with you landlubbers? Don't you know you're flying at a stress signal? You got your flag on upside down. Hey, man, look at all those fellas with only one girl. Maybe she's in distress. Are you in distress, honey?
Get it down.
Stupid of us. Thanks for coming by. Seriously, though, you better hope the harbor master didn't catch that. You have a little explaining to do. Well, so long, folks.
Forced me to change my plans, MacMahon. Now get forward, all of you, and if there's the slightest trouble, I'll have this pretty little face carved, so that not even you, Mr. Smith, will recognize it.
Start the engines. Get ready to bring up the anchor.
I don't see any activity over there. Wise guys. How to be smart.
Now, put it in the speedboat along with the rest of my things. $500,000, my dear. Nearly all of it clear profit. No income tax. Just think of the things you could buy. Pretty things. Sable stone, emerald earrings. You're cold. Perhaps you'd like to go and put on a wrap. Oh, Richard, go with her. I wouldn't want you to end our little cruise by catching a cold.
Hand me those fishing rods, will you?
You want the rest of this?
Yes, I do.
Hey, I could use these goggles.
Give them to me.
Okay, I was just asking. No harm done. You like fishing?
I hate fishing.
That's why you are not a happy man. You know that? Why do you think so many of the Lord's disciples were fishermen? Fishing is good for the soul.
Get out of my way.
Just in time, my dear. Come.
What were you doing in the engine room?
Oh, well, I was just taking a last look round before we say goodbye. All right, McMahon. This will do. Now bring her around and lay to while we put the speedboat over. Mr. Smith and Joe will help with that. And so, all things come to an end. The speedboat should get us ashore in less than 2 hours before you put in. And then, in 2 hours, we shall be gone with the wind, never to meet again.
That suits me.
And as for the 10,000...
Forget it.
I intend to. You had your chance. I never give a man or a woman more than one. Ah, Richard, just in time for last goodbyes. And don't make the farewells tedious, please.
I'd like to leave you something. My medallion. Please take it. Good luck. Don't waste any time. Getting married, I mean.
Nothing like a good loser. All right, Fidel.
Marty.
Hey, what the...
Pop, there's a time bomb in the engine room.
Who said so?
Dick left a note.
Marty!
Oh, will you get away from here, all of you? Get in the life preserver. Get back on the fan sail.
Marty, let me come down there, will you?
What are you doing, I say? It's set to go out for 5 minutes. Can you hear it? Will you shut up?
Can you hear it?
Will you shut up?
How much longer, boss? Any moment now. Maybe something went wrong with the timer. Be quiet! This should be quite a spectacle.
If you hit the bomb where you hit the dope, we'll never find it. Marty, come out of there!
Shut up! It's ticking! I can hear it around here somewhere!
Somewhere! Marty!
Head back, Cope. Head back. What for? That was the thermite bomb, you fool. The Medusa should be blazing from stem to stern by now. Look, you saw it go off yourself. Yes, over the side. Go on, Cope.
Look! They're coming back. Let's get out of here. Hit that switch and get out of here! Look at your Medusa, Renee! No! Richard, no! Look at your Medusa!
What we do now, Marty? Well, I guess we better go back to Catalina and notify the Coast Guard.
You won't have to. Look.